This is Tony Himes. We're here with Sean James, one of the vice presidents over at Christie Digital. They're showing off two particularly amazing products that are of interest to us at Do Social. They have something called a buzz wall and something else called a virtual shelf, which is exactly what we're standing in front of. I wanted to ask Sean a couple of quick questions about exactly what these applications can be and what we're seeing here, because there's just so much stuff going on. It's almost impossible to understand without talking to somebody who put it all together. So Sean, starting with the buzz wall, what are some of the applications that you're seeing? Obviously we've got the football stadium here, but how are you kind of putting it all together?
Well, I think the thought process was looking at entertainment type venues, stadiums, theaters, and other places where there's really a fan connection to what's going on in the stadium, giving them a vehicle, giving that facility a vehicle to get engaged with their fans, and for the sponsors to participate with the fans.
Fantastic. Now, you are using social media, you're using gesture technology. Could you just list off like all of the different components, because there's a lot of components involved with the buzz wall?
There's gesture-based interactivity, there's a mobile integration, and there's also some multi-touch technology that allows users to really engage themselves with the content. With the Dolphins Sun Life Stadium, the thought process was really to try to create a connection with the fans in some of the greatest moments in history, and also to just create an engaging environment for them to meet their sponsors.
That's great, and I hope for the best of success for the buzz wall, because I feel like that's something that's going to be catching on in a lot of places, like you mentioned, not just in sports. But now behind us is the virtual shelf. What is the exact advantage to a retailer to have something like this as opposed to traditional shelves?
Well, with our partner, Arsenal Integrated, who actually came up with several of these concepts, the virtual shelf, the whole thought process behind that was to give the retailer a place to show many of the items that they don't have space for in their local venue. So, whereas they may have several dozen or hundreds of items in their store and thousands on their website, they don't have to rely on driving people from the store to the website for them to see all the items that are available.
Okay, great. And with the type of touchscreen interactivity like you have with the buzz wall, if you were to integrate that as well into the virtual shelf, I mean, you could create an incredible shopping experience there. What does that mean for inventory management? What does that mean for staffing, for these other kind of things that would grow off of just having something that's so efficient?
Well, what we truly believe is that something like the virtual shelf will allow the consumer to drive their own shopping experience. It's going to give them access to many items that a retailer either can't afford or doesn't have space to put on their shelves, and it's going to allow the retailer to service them in a different way.